So let's face it, the hustling, the grinding, the working 10 hours a day till your eyes bleed, that was cool in your 20s, 30s, maybe even your early 40s. But now we're 50, we're 60, we're looking for something different. Maybe we want to build a part-time, little quote unquote side hustle. Here is my formula for a 3-hour workday. Now you're saying, Ryan, come on, man, that's cheesy. Some of you are like, oh my God, that's so cool. I would love a 3-hour workday. There are some of you who are like, oh my God, I have to work 3 hours. That really is the baseline minimum. Like, let's get real with this. It is difficult now to build a business working less than at least 2-3 hours a day because there's work you have to do. There's competition. There's a lot of competition, right? With the barrier to entry so low to get online, anyone with internet access can get online and build a business. You could start with a YouTube channel. You could start with a LinkedIn account. It's free. You can get started with just about anything. So because the barrier to entry is so low, there's more competition. So how do we stand out? How do we grow? How do we build this business in just a few hours a day? Here is my formula. I've talked about this in some of my other videos, but it's worth repeating, and I'll break each one down. GWB. And no, if you're from the New York area like me, it's not the George Washington Bridge, or someone online once said George W. Bush. No, it stands for grow, write, and bank. Grow is, you break it down to 1 hour each. Okay, so grow is the first hour. That is growth. That's traffic. That's marketing. That's getting people to know you and or your business. It is leading off the day because it's the most important part of your business. It really is. That's why I'm out here filming this at the break of dawn. Like, I'm up, I love it because my whole family is sleeping right now. I love waking up early, doing a little bit of morning exercise and some stretching. I got my whole journaling routine, and then I get to work. I sit down, I set a timer for an hour. Well, actually, I set timer for 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off, 25 on, 5 off. And that gives you a little, you get up after 25 minutes, you stretch, you move, and you get back to work. So the first hour is your growth strategies. And for every person, for every business, this is going to look different. So for years, for me, it was paid traffic, especially with my supplement companies. That was one of them. That was all we did. That was our main focus. So our obsession was paid ads, mostly through Facebook. Now, Meta, Instagram, did some YouTube ads. So it was just all about ads. And then there was one company where the whole traffic strategy was affiliate program. So it was basically recruiting and training other affiliates to promote one of our other companies, our nutrition company. So the first hour was all growth focused. And what happens is a lot of us come online and we start looking at the news. Oh my God, the politics, social media. Can you believe she said that? Can you believe he's wearing that? Why does he have a mullet? Then you go down a rabbit hole. All of a sudden you see some weird video of I don't know, someone doing a free climb and they fall off and they break their leg. You're like, oh my God, that's so funny. And you share it. And you lose an hour. But if you sit down, shut your phone off. Well, of course, look, let's get real. You start your day watching this video. Like that's a given, right? Because you can't go without my New York nasally voice for at least to kickstart your day. So after you watch me, of course, hour on your growth strategy. So right now, again, the reason I'm here outside doing this while my family's sleeping is because this is the most important part of my business now. My main growth lever is this channel. It's video, specifically YouTube. This is where I'm focusing, which is why I'm doing it before anything else, before I'm answering emails, before I'm going on social media. I'm focusing on my growth because without new people coming into your world, into your pipeline in some way, shape, or form, your business eventually starts to decline, starts to choke out. Even if you have a really good recurring revenue program, eventually you get some churn, people leave, people move on to other industries, they move on to other hobbies and habits and passions. People unfortunately pass away. I've had a lot of customers over the decades pass away. Like, it's life. So you have to attract new people. But here's why I like this GWB strategy. It's not the only thing you do. Because if you only focus on traffic and you don't do the other two things I'm about to tell you, the W and the B, then your business becomes lopsided. Then it becomes, you're in a constant hamster wheel because you're not doing the other things that really generate the revenue and take care of that, which leads me to the second hour, right? So you got the first hour of the growth levers, whatever it is. For me, it's YouTube. Yours might be paid traffic. It might be Instagram. It might be TikTok. It might be LinkedIn. Whatever it is, traffic. Or it might be, if you're an e-com or you want to get into stores, it's going to retail stores and calling up store owners and retail brokers, right? So that's the number one thing. When my sister had her real estate company, I said to her, your first order of business should be getting new landlords so you can rep their buildings, because that's going to drive the deals, the deal flow. Okay, W is now, once you have this traffic source, getting them onto your list, because W is write. W-R-I-T-E, W, right? Writing emails, communicating, building trust, telling stories. I did another video, I'll link to it below, where I give you the 3 L's, whether you laugh, learn, or lighten, right? And you'll watch the video, it breaks it down. I think you should really watch, that's important. But because you got to write the right kind of emails. I'm not talking about spamming people, and what I see e-commerce companies do all the time is the only time they email you is just sale, 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 sale. That's not what you should do either. It's building trust, building rapport, soft sells, right? Because up to 80–90% of your sales are going to come on email, not social media, because social media, you're not guaranteed you're going to reach everyone, right? You could do a post, oh my God, it's the greatest social post I ever did, and 3 out of the 2,000 people that follow you get to see it. So it's got to be more than that. It has to be more than just sale, 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 buy this, promote this. It's communicating, it's building trust, but you have to sit down. So for me, the second hour is right. Now, going beyond that, you can say, okay, well, what if I don't email every day? Then it's still community building, it's trust building. Maybe you have a group, a Facebook group or a school group or a private circle group. That's where you can build trust. That's where you could answer questions and communicate with your tribe and really foster that relationship with that community, if that's the kind of the goal you want to do. So, right, ooh, watch out for the bug there. See, another early riser. So that's the W, so that's the second hour. And the third hour is B. Baby got bank. Bank is your monetization. So what I mean by that is, how are we going to make some money? What are you going to sell? What are your offers? Sales copy, product creation, product development. Maybe you have a new course you're working on, or a membership site, or like coaching programs, or a new nutritional supplement or skincare product, or you want to work on sales copy. That is all your monetization, okay? Now what happens is, maybe you're more like me, you got a little bit of that kind of entrepreneurial ADD, and you love the creative process. So maybe you're more of an artist, and you have your 3 hours, right? You're like, oh, I'm gonna block off my 3 hours. And then you sit for 3 hours and you just create art. Great, but and then you come to me and say, well, Ryan, how the heck do I sell it? I don't have any customers. You know, I did a Facebook post, I got 2 likes, and I haven't sold anything. This is a scam, because you're not doing the other things. You're not focusing on the growth levers, and you're not communicating with your audience, and you're not building a tribe, and you're not building this loyal following of people who know, like, and trust you, right? So some people get so heavy, just as I talked about, some people get so heavy on the growth side, on the marketing side, and all they do is obsess over traffic. They don't do anything with W, right? There's no community building or taking care of your people, and there's no thought about the monetization. Or on this side of it, they obsessively focus on product creation. Maybe you're spending 9 months or 10 months building a membership site, then you launch it, and you have no one to launch it to. I remember I did a coaching call with a woman, she was in the health space, and she was like in tears. She said, you gotta help me. My membership site, I have no members. I said, well, tell me. She said, well, I hired this company, they charged me $80,000 to build this incredible membership site. I spent just about a year creating courses. I have 200 videos, I have all these things. but I don't have any members. I said, well, what are you doing for traffic? She said, well, I'm going to go get traffic now. And I said, well, you could have been building an audience. You still should focus on the G and the W in addition to the B. So all of these three things have to work together. So if you want the 3-hour day, and by the way, I know Tim Ferriss, the 4-hour work week. 4-hour work week, that's not, that's a little tough to do. But 3 hours a day is really not a lot, especially if it's something you love doing. If it's a topic you love, if it's with people you love helping and serving, I mean, it's really not that much. So you just have to find the time. So for me right now, because I'm blessed, I'm able to do this on my own. I've been able to do it on my own for decades. For me, it's morning. It's like from 6 to 9. That's my time. And theoretically, by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, I could be done. Like I get, and sometimes I am. My afternoons are always flexible. Sometimes I'll do coaching calls or a training, or I'll be interviewed on podcasts, or I'll just sit at the pool, or I coach my kids' sports, but it gives you flexibility. Now, I know that's not always reality. So the last full-time job I had, I was a gym teacher in the Bronx, and it was 2000, 2001, and I didn't have the luxury of doing this in the morning, and I couldn't get up at 3 in the morning. Well, I guess I could get up at 3 in the morning, but I'm not insane, so I'm not Mark Wahlberg. But what I did was I was able to carve out those 3 hours whenever I could. So I had, because I started up the health and phys ed program, I didn't really have a lot of tests to grade. So what I would do is during my 1-hour teacher break, I would go to the public library, which is about 2 blocks from the school, and work on their computer. Now again, this was 2000. This was before people had like Wi-Fi on laptops, and the school like had one computer and there was no internet. I couldn't even do it. So I had to go to the library, and you make do with what you got, right? Like, so that was 1 hour. And then I had a lunch break, and the same thing. I'd go to the library, or I would sit and I'd write and I'd work on the business for another hour. And then when I got home at night, even after like the long day and the traffic, I got home and I did more work. And I did another hour of writing sales copy, creating the products. And so I didn't get a 3-hour time block, but I was able to fit those 3 hours in. And that's like, this is what drives me crazy when I see these, young influencers online. They're like 22, they're living at home. They're like, dude, you grew like 10 hours in a row. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Especially if you have a family, right? I have 4 kids. Now, they're teens now, and the oldest one's about to be 21. But when they were like 5, 3, 1, and a baby, I couldn't string together 9 hours to go online. So we live in the real world. And right now, if you have a full-time job, just try to carve out that time. And you might say, Ryan, I can't find 3 hours. And I'm not going to make you feel guilty and say, well, then don't watch Netflix, and don't relax, and you guys should be working. You got to prioritize what's the thing for you, right? But if you carve out even 30 minutes on each of these, okay, 30 minutes G of growth, 30 minutes of writing, 30 minutes of products and monetization, at least you put a good 90 minutes in, but focus 90 minutes. So there you go. Maybe I should call this the 1.5 hour workday. It's a lot sexier title. I'd probably get more clicks, but we're gonna go with what we got. That's a 3-hour workday. If you're enjoying this advice and these tactics, just like this, just subscribe, visit me at ryanlee.com, and then let's watch this next video because so much more is coming. Now I gotta go. I'm almost done with my hour of the G. Time to start writing some emails, make some money. I'll see you on the next video.